Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Amy and today's video is going to be a really popular video that I have watched over the last probably 6 or 8 months going around on YouTube with mommy YouTubers. It is the 10 names I love, and I think people mostly say 10 names I love but won't be using, but I'm just gonna call it the 10 names I love and might be using. We are expecting our 5th baby in just about 9 weeks, and we don't know if it's a boy and we don't know if it's a girl, so we don't know what its name is gonna be. But I have a few on my list that Kirk and I have tossed back and forth, and we have not set on a name. So like I said, we might end up using one of these, or we might come up with a totally different name that's not on this list. But I thought that I would do this tag because when you're looking for baby names, it's always fun to hear other people's ideas. So I'm just gonna go back and forth between boy, girl, and tell you the 10 names I love. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna start off with girl, and the first girl name that I have written down on my phone is Rylan, and I think it's a really feminine name but also strong, and I think it also goes with my other children's names. So I feel like Riker and Rylan, they flow well together. And also with my girl names, I have a Kylie Lynn, so I feel like Kylie Lynn and Rylan, they kind of coordinate. Same with Madeline and Rylan. And so I just really think that it's pretty. It's not super common. I mean, I definitely have heard it before, but I like it. The first boy name that I have on my list, I absolutely love this name, and I only know one little boy. He doesn't live here in Alaska, but one of the girls that I went to high school with, her son is named this, and I think it's such a fun name for a boy, and it's really strong. Kirk is not totally sold on it, but the name that I'm talking about is Nixon, N-I-X-O-N, and I love that name. Kirk's problem with the name Nixon is that he refers, or it makes him think of President Nixon, which I don't really know that much of him, but I guess he was a bad guy. I don't know. That might be embarrassing to admit, but I'm just telling you like it is. So I love the name Nixon. Kirk isn't totally sold, so we may or may not use the name Nixon. The next girl name is another K name, and I have a Kylie and a Kirk, and so I really like names that start with K. And this name for a girl is Caitlin, and I think it's really pretty. It seems classic and timeless. I also like if someone wanted to shorten it, Kate, and I think that Kate is just really simple and sweet, and Caitlin is really pretty too. So that's one thing that I think of when I'm thinking of names, are what is the nickname or the shortened version that somebody would call that name. And I like Kate just as much as I like Caitlin, so I think it's a fun girl name option. The next boy name is, I have never met anybody with this name, and I don't even know where I came up with it, but when I heard it, I loved it. But the name is Jagger, and some people, like when I say that name, they look at me like, Jagger, but I really like uncommon, like modern names, and I think that Jagger is a really cool name for a boy. I could see like a little baby named Jagger, and I could see a full-grown man, you know, introducing himself as Jagger, and the shortened version Jag. I love that, and I've never met anybody with that name. I think that Kirk is semi on board with the name Jagger. He did make one remark about it that kind of was like, but I don't know, we'll just have to see. The third girl's name that I really like is Ava, and it's just A-V-A. It's short and sweet and really pretty. We don't have any A names in the family except for me, Amy, and so if I have a little girl, I think it would be fun to have a little girl with an A name, and it's also 3 letters just like Amy, so I really like that name, and Kirk likes it too. I think this boy's name is traditionally spelled with a C, and it is Carson. I, of course, would spell it with a K, K-A-R-S-O-N, and I just really love that name. I think it would be good for a little boy and also a really strong name for a grown man. It's really handsome, and I could totally see my son being named Carson. I just really love that. Something else that I kind of want to do if it's a boy, not so much if it's a girl, but if it's a boy, the same initials as my husband, KJG, and we do have a really good idea of a middle name that starts with a J. I'm not going to share that now because I do want there to be some element of surprise to the name, and if we name him Carson with the middle name that I have picked out and our last name, he would share the same initials as my husband, and I think that's really cool. All right, back to girl names. This is like probably my favorite on this list of girl names that I have. I think it is. And the name is Everly. I think it is so pretty. The only thing that I don't like about it, and I don't want to be mean or rude if this is your name or you know somebody with this name, but I love the name Everly. Like, it's my favorite on my list for girls, and it's not super common. I know it's starting to pick up, but I don't personally know any Everlys, and I think the name Ever for short is cute. Like, little baby Ever. I just think it's so cute. But I wouldn't want people to get confused and say, did you say Beverly? I just don't want people to always be confused over the pronunciation of her name if we chose the name Everly. So Kirk really does like the name too. Our kids really like that name for a girl. But I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, number 8 is a boy's name, and I don't know anybody with this name either, and I think it's really cool. I think I really like the X factor in a boy's name, and this name is Lennox. I don't know any little boys with this name, but I think it's really trendy and modern, and I don't know, I just really like that name. I don't have too much to say about the name Lennox. I'm just really drawn to it and I like it, but I'm not sure what Kirk thinks of it, so. All right, the last girl's name on my list, number 9, is Olivia, and I think this name is just so beautiful. I love this name. I love this name for what it is and how it sounds and how it looks in writing. Like, it's just really pretty. Don't love how common it can be, but I feel like it was more common like 10-15 years ago and not as common now, and that's just the way that names kind of go. They go in cycles, and so it is one that we're considering if we have a girl, so we'll just have to see. And then number 10 on the list, the 5th boy's name that I have, which I'm pretty confident I won't get to use. I tossed this name around when we were pregnant with Madeline like 8.5 years ago, and we didn't know if she was a boy or a girl yet. And I was like, if she's a boy, what do you think about the name Kingston? And the short name King. I just think, and it starts with a K again, I love the name Kingston, and I personally don't know anybody named Kingston, and I just think it's a really strong name. I could see it on a little boy, on a baby, or a grown man, and it just seems like it's such a strong, powerful name, and I just really like it. So those are 10 of the names that I have stored on my phone that I keep going back to, and sometimes I add a name, sometimes I take a name out, and I'm just gonna keep going with my list until we meet this little baby in 9 or so weeks, and I can't wait to finally know what this little baby's name is. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. It's sometimes scary sharing names because people have opinions, and I'm totally fine with that. Everyone is welcome to their own opinion, but let me know, what are your favorite names from the list that I just gave? Do you guys like any of those names? Do you have like a favorite? I would love to know like what your guys' opinions and thoughts are on these specific names that I've given here. So leave it in the comment down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.